with 9 interceptions. It's the Cowboys and the Eagles on Monday Night Prime Time.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Elliott. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Prescott on 3rd and 2. Caught by Snead over the middle. And he will have a Cowboys first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 28 yards. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Prescott. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they took the shot, didn't get it. There's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3. Psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
Check right. Check pink.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. They'll look to throw now on first down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Micah Parsons make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total. It made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 37. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
But when we see the ball tipped in the air, sometimes we get a little roll change, don't we? Because when it's in the air, sometimes the defensive back becomes the receiver. In this case, the receiver looked like a defensive back, but ended up a receiver.
He caught it as a receiver. Hey, it worked out.
Worked out really well for them. But I'm telling you, the defensive guys, frustrated. They're going to catch it in film.
That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Here's Prescott. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Elliott running right. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. In motion goes the tight end. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. He completes it to Snead. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 33. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, I want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw here. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. The 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. From the 6. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
First down, Prescott. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And incomplete on the deep ball. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game.
Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. 20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick-6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just want to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick-6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. Fields it right around the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it, can't afford any more missteps, though.
They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22. Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Prescott off play action. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. Inside give to Elliott. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. On play action, Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is, at the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to... And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. 57 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now Prescott on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 33 yards. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first half lead. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to win. Oh, Prescott stripped, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. Piñeiro now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. It's complete to Snead. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Flushed out right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Prescott to throw it. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. Prescott yet again. And that will be incomplete with the clock showing 18 seconds now to go. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Past the halfway point of the season, and now past the halfway point of this game. We skip halftime and get right back to the action. Set to begin the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football, because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On play action, they'll throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons, his 2nd sack of the night. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he wisely will throw that one away. So no problems moving the ball in the first half, but they'll likely come up empty here on drive 1 of quarter 3.
And it was so important for the defense to get that stop, because what we witnessed in the first half was them getting run over. And they needed the confidence, and they needed to get off the field so they felt good going forward in this game.
It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Prescott from the gun. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
57 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Holding offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
They'll set up to throw. Dancing. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic?
He's got a man, complete, past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught, Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Looking here for Smith downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Pulling a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The kick by Pinheiro is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this one, Charles, it's only the 3rd quarter, but they appear to be well on their way to victory.
I would say so because a 1-score lead you don't even count, but a 2-score lead you know it can evaporate in an instant. 3 scores, feeling good, but you know it's not over yet. But now, they've got a 4-score cushion. I think you can feel pretty confident in the fact that this is going to go your way.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
It's a slant to Hill. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now this throw caught left side. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is declined.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And it's not over yet as they're back within 2 scores.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Ready, go. Ready.
They go back to Pollard on second down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 72 yards on the ground here for Pollard. This is a first down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Out of the gun now on third down. Eluding the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield, incomplete.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing again on second down. Prescott. He'll find Lindsey here. And they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down.
Holding. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
Still second down.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Prescott down. Throw left side complete. That's Lindsey. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Now Elliott, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further.
Garibay back out there now to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look.
And, you know, they're still very much in the driver's seat, but this second half, this offense has not looked as crisp as the first half, and now with a touchdown that just happened against them, I don't know, things a little more interesting right now.
And so often in games, we talk about a defense picking up for their offense. I think in this case, this offense needs to pick up for their defense. Let them get some rest on the sidelines now, since they just gave up a score. And as you noted, they need to get that crispness back from the first half. They need a big drive here.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Here's Pollard again. And he'll get this one up to the 26.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll look to throw here. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
Holding. Defense.
So the holding call on the offense, so they go ahead and decline that one and take possession of the football on the INT. Now Dak. He's got his man. It's Gallup. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
To throw, Prescott. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now.
Touchdown! Ezekiel Elliott. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cowboys have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So they got their touchdown. Now down a field goal. Here comes the onside kick. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Ready?
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
Check. Yellow. Line. Hut, hut.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big pickup there. Without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Quick. Yellow. Black watch. Set.
The Eagles in the victory formation as they take a knee.
Let's go now.
A couple more minutes and maybe